champions.
E-A-T-L-E-S-E-O!
What's up?
What up? We are back. What is going on?
We are the Drunk on Broad crew, currently in the Elite Eight
of the Wildfire Philly Sports Podcast bracket.
We were the 32. We were one of the last seeds, and we've been making a run some upsets. So please go to the Wildfire Podcast Twitter and vote for your boys, Drunk on Broad. And let's get into the Final Four. Let's make some noise. Don, how's your night going so far?
Listen, I can't complain. It got a little chilly today, but the weather, on the overall is starting to turn a little bit. It's giving me more reason to try to figure out ways to get outside, be outside. So anytime, considering what the last 2 years have been like, anytime we can do some family stuff outside, just try to get everybody out and moving around, start getting this yard together. We're just gonna just enjoy everything about being together and we had just some cool family stuff going on. My daughter was in a play, so we watched a couple episodes of Matilda live.
Nice.
So
was she Matilda?
She was not. She was one of the school kids, but she had a solo bow at the end.
That's awesome.
So shout out to her and the whole the middle school drama crew at her school, and just
yeah, buddy. Shout out to middle school drama. Let's go. Let's go.
Middle school drama club, not the middle school drama. We can leave that drama for your mama.
Leave the drama for your baby mama. But here, we want to hear the singing. That's what we do. Fun fact. What's up, Mike?
Yeah.
Fun fact, I was actually in show choir, and I made the South Jersey, all South Jersey choir 2 years in a row, and I quit because they said baseball or choir. And I said, my friends will beat me up, and I really enjoy baseball, so I am going to retire the pipes. So it's a fun fact.
Fun fact. Rich, I would have never thought that
in high school we were required to take an art.
Oh, okay.
And everybody who knows me knows I can't draw. I am, when it comes to drawing, I am a failure and a half. I have all these great ideas in my head. When I put them to paper, it's a deformed stick figure, and it just doesn't look right. Art in high school was tough because you had projects and shit. I'm like, I can't do this. So I decided to take performing arts. Why? Because I knew it was an easy A, and most of the time I didn't have to sing. But when I would sing, the teacher would be like, okay, Rich, you have a solo. And I'm like, motherfucker. I'm like, so now during all of like the student, like when we would do like the plays for the students, and we would do like the performances for the students, like to warm up for the parent shows and the concerts, I'd have to go up in front of like my whole class, or two assemblies in a row. So it was like freshmen, sophomores, and then juniors, seniors. So there's me going up there belting out like these solos, and my friends are like, dude, you're such a fucking dork. And I'm like this. I tried not to say anything. I tried not to sing, but now I have solos. So then I just got made fun of even more. And I'm like, you know what? I lived it. I love it. So
there you go.
Good
Shout out to
Sterling High School's choir program.
Never would I have ever pegged Rich as the man with the I guess you would be a soprano.
I was a bass. I was a bass. Thank you.
Okay, that makes more sense.
I was down there.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. I wanted to be a baritone, but they're like, you can hit the low notes. I'm like, son of a bitch. Yeah. So I didn't even have like the good solo. I was like, like I was down there like doing it, and everybody's just like, doesn't even have a good voice. It's like, it's just deep. I'm like, yeah. this is what I do.
Oh, wow.
Oh, fun times, Don.
Here we go. Fun times. Well, Rich, it's been a busy week. We have had so much stuff going on.
Yes, we
We
have.
have not been able to do our normal sports-specific drunk on the birds, drunk on the court, because there's just too much going on.
Yeah, there's way too much.
The NFL offseason is this particular offseason has been like
the craziest
before. The stuff that's been going on in MLB lately with those guys has been crazy. You got the tournament. We got a whole bunch of stuff to cover. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with let's go with MLB.
All right. So let's talk about the hometown team here for a second.
Let's do it.
Because the hometown team, your Fightins, made a couple of moves that we've been looking for them to make.
Yes.
Since they opened this park. Since the time that this park has been open at the bank, it was built as a place that could fit a team that could just mash.
Yes.
But we never built one.
No.
We built a bunch of dink and dunk.
That's putting it nicely, Don.
Punch and Judy hitters.
There you go. That's better.
Right? Now, Rich, that lineup, now that you've added a monster left-handed power bat in Schwarber.
Mm-hmm.
You've added a monster right-hand bat in Castellanos.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to stick them in a lineup that already has your MVP, Bryce Harper.
Mm-hmm.
Your best catcher in baseball, Real Muto.
Mm-hmm.
Rhys Hoskins.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what, like, that lineup for this team is going to be, Rich, they're going to look like your Goonies.
They are. They're going to look like my Sunday morning softball team. They're going to mash. But there's one thing my softball team has that the Phillies don't, and that's called defense and pitching, because I'm the pitcher. Hey-yo. I'm excited for Castellanos. I didn't like Schwarber in the beginning. Adam, what's up? I do like Schwarber now that he's going to be protected with Castellanos and Harper.
Right.
But, being the Debbie Downer, defense is a liability. I still would like to see Castellanos go to third. I don't want him in the outfield because I want to move Bohm over to first and have Rhys just focus on hitting.
Okay.
And I think that's probably like the best move, but then who plays left field? So that's the
I think you're going to
22.
You're going to see a lot of flexibility in this lineup.
Unless Schwarber plays left field, then I'm fine with that.
So I think I like the idea of Schwarber leading off.
Yes.
Just seeing him be able to – he's a guy that's going to just consistently put the ball in play. Mm-hmm. But he's also a guy that you can put and within the first at-bat be up 1-0. And I like that ability to jump on pitchers because I think that's going to be big for this team to be able to get ahead early and then, force – starting pitchers out that you're going to have to when you're playing teams like the Mets and the Braves, right? You're going to have to do a really good job at getting the starters out early. And I think this lineup is kind of built in that way.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you're saying. I'd love to see Schwarber. I wanted my ideal lineup would be Schwarber, JT, Bryce, Castellanos, Hoskins. Then you can throw in Bohm, who's ever playing, I guess, Didi after Bohm, Segura. We saw Segura, right? He still is. Mm-hmm. Segura, and then Odubel. Like, have Odubel be dead last in the lineup and not have to worry about that jerk-off.
Right.
I still think starting pitching is going to be tough because once you get past Wheeler and hopefully Nola bounces back, you're banking on Eflin to come back. You're banking on Suarez to be decent. And then who's your 5? Like, it's a lot of things I don't like with that pitching staff. I mean, our bullpen should be fine. None of those guys blow you out of the water, but you can move Nectar Neres to the setup spot, and then Knubel will close for you, which we have to see how he fits into that role. But I don't know, man. I'm still not happy that baseball is back. I'm still not happy.
I think
I am, but I'm not at the same time because
the way
Phillies are just going to let me down.
I feel better than I felt this time last week. Right?
Yeah, I agree. Because Castellanos is huge.
And I think if this lineup, Mike's, saying instead of losing 6-2, they're going to lose 10-9. Like, yeah. They're going to be like their games are going to be like that. It's not going to be a 2-1 game,
which is great.
Yeah, like so. If you're planning on going down there this summer, man, enjoy. Right, you're going to see a lot of balls be put into play, and I think that the pitching is something that if this team is as offensively competitive as it is, it's going to make more of a push for them to make in-season acquisitions in the pitching, in the bullpen. But Rich, if I told like I have with this lineup the way that it is right now.
Okay.
I have half an inkling to just open up opening day with Stott as shortstop because I feel like there's enough around him that he doesn't have to do anything monumental. Like you're not coming up and counting on him to be an integral part. And you can get him valuable MLB playing time, but I think don't underestimate the fact that like there's a lot of value in him being around those guys.
So what do you think about Didi? Where's Didi going to go?
Between you and I, Rich, I really don't give a shit. He's a guy that I could kind of like, if
so Segura is going to be your second baseman, you got Stott at
like if you wanted to move Didi to third, right, and let Bohm DH, or you want to that's where I feel like there's going to be a lot of interchangeable parts.
Yeah,
where like
I just don't want Hoskins. Hoskins is a main liability in the field for me.
Yeah,
and Bohm at third, so someone's got to take that spot. I mean, if you move Bohm to first and put Didi at third, I'm completely fine with that. And then Castellanos or Schwarber is your DH, and then Reese comes off the bench. Like you said, there's going to be possibilities, and I'm open for it. I just, I need to see them all together, and I need to see how they come together congruently.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of fluidity. I like, Mike's proposing a trade, right? Listen, don't get it twisted. This team is going to be bad defensively.
I would take Chamonix or Frankie Montes.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you wanted to try to flip Bohm to Oakland for one of those two guys, do it.
I'm still upset that we don't have a farm system and weren't able to go after Chapman or Olsen because that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, those are guys that I would have liked.
I would have loved Matt Chapman. Oh, my God. He's the best defensive third baseman in the AL. And I think in Major League Baseball, he doesn't get enough credit. Arenado's great, but I think Chapman has that much more range, which is crazy to say because Nolan Arenado's glove is ridiculous.
Right. Rich, around any other Philly stuff? I mean, those two things I love. Did you see or hear any of the Castellanos comments today?
The one you sent me was hilarious. My friends were talking about it on the group chat, but no, I wasn't able to tune in and see it.
Like just hearing him say like I don't have a college degree. Like I just mash baseballs. That's how I make a living.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that he said, to hear him say like, listen, I love that I'm going to be playing for a fan base that's going to boo me when I'm not doing well and cheer me when I am doing well. The comments he made comments to the effect of like, I have not played in a meaningful playoff game in my career. I don't want to be 0-2. The fact that his mindset is already on like, I don't want to be behind on game 2. Yeah. Not like I don't want to be behind in September. Like we're going to try to start winning games from day one. I think the city, his personality, it's going to feel like it felt with Harper when people thought Harper was trying too hard.
Yeah.
At the beginning. but his enthusiasm for the city, enthusiasm for the game, the way he plays the game, that fire, it's going to endear himself to this city in a way that like would remind me of like when like T.O. When he came in and everybody in this city kind of latched onto him.
Yeah.
It's giving me those kind of feels.
I mean, he said all the right things from what I read. And, you know, it's the thing when you come to Philly. The fans will let you know how you're doing, but they'll always support you unless you don't give them something to support. It takes a special kind of person to be able to play for a fan base that cares that much. Right. And I think that's what athletes are starting to realize. It's like, okay, Philadelphia fans get a bad rap, but they're the most caring. They're smart. They understand the sport. It's not like you're going to play anywhere else. Like we live, breathe, die by our teams. And if you don't give us the same effort, you can get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And you've seen how other players fared who had a less strong mentality. So we'll leave that at that.
That guy. All right.
That guy.
Just to answer Adam's question before we move on around the league. What do you and Mike put it in there? The over under right now currently is 85.5.
I am taking the under.
You're going to go under.
I'm going to go with 79 wins.
You know what? Just for shits and giggles, I'm going to go over.
All right, gentleman's bet, Don.
It's a pizza bet.
It's a pizza. Oh, I like it. I like it. Gentleman's bet.
So, Rich, around the league, Freddie Freeman.
Good for Freddie. Good for that ridiculous lineup.
He goes home, but that lineup, not only it has a similar power stroke in what the Phillies lineup has right now, but all of the defense that comes with it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That team is going to be insane.
Do they win north of 100? You think they win more than 100 games?
If they don't, it's because everyone is injured. They should easily win 105 games. Easily. They should be the best team in baseball. Easily. And if they don't, then there's something clearly wrong.
All right. Carlos Correa goes to the Twins.
He's got a bad back. I don't understand why Houston didn't match that offer. Is kind of weird.
Right.
So maybe they knew something that was more of severity than let off.
Yeah, right. Does it speak to something that's not that? Do they know something that we don't know?
Yeah. And I'm the Twins are my AL team because I just like that they play small ball and they do everything right.
Okay.
But they needed more than just Correa to be able to compete. I don't think he moves the needle at all for Minnesota. The deal that he signed is very, very Correa friendly. Yeah.
In that it's a 3-year deal, but he has the opt-out after year 1 and year 2.
Yeah.
So I like it from the Twins' perspective that like it's almost like a rent-a-player.
Yeah.
Right? Like if they get to the middle of the year, they're not competitive, they can now flip him for top-level prospects and not have to worry about that long-term commitment. Trevor Story goes to the Red Sox.
Okay. Like they have Bogartis. So I don't understand why when they got Bogarts, like why would you sign Trevor Story unless he's going to
play second.
Put him in a position that he doesn't play. Smart move. Works out every time. And Bogarts is a free agent after this year, so they're probably thinking they're not going to be able to sign him, which is stupid because I would have spent the money on him over Trevor Story. He's younger and to me a better player. And you pair him with Devers, and it's great. But they're not. Their pitching is atrocious, so it doesn't matter. They're not going to beat the Yankees. They're not even going to beat the Blue Jays. And the Orioles. The Orioles had a tough, scrappy squad last year. So I don't really see that moving the needle for Boston. And if after this year they lose Xander Bogaerts, I would take him twice on Sunday over Trevor Story, and that's just me. And then you got this stupid ass fucking move with Chris Bryant going to
the Rockies.
I would have kept Arenado.
Yeah,
Like Chris Bryant hasn't been good in 2 years, and he signs that massive deal. Like, what are you thinking?
I don't get what
the Rockies. They're a terribly run organization.
Like, to me, that move makes absolutely no sense.
They're not going to win anything in the next 5 to 7 years.
Right. And then I look at Chris Bryant and I'm saying, like,
and he's not a name that people want to see. He's not going to, oh my God, Chris Bryant's on the Rockies. I got to go to a game. It's like, I'm good. The Rockies suck. No, thank you.
Yeah, I just that to me, I don't get it from a bunch of different angles, right? I don't get it from what you're talking about in the sense where you have.
Is Larry Walker coming back and Todd Helton? No, there's nobody there besides Chris Bryant.
Yeah,
it's so dumb.
It to me, when you had Nolan Arenado in-house and then you end up in this place where you moved him and then you sign Chris Bryant and you commit the amount of dollars that you did.
Yeah.
It's the Rockies being the Rockies.
No sense was made. No sense was made during that.
0 cents made.
0 cents made. But the Rockies being the Rockies.
It really is. And that's, I think for me, I'm just like, did you see the new Shohei Ohtani rule?
No, what's that?
So it has to do with guys that now that they have a universal DH, that if the guy who's pitching is also the DH, if he comes out as the pitcher, he can stay in as the DH.
Oh, that's cool.
So, like, just because he's pitching in a game doesn't necessarily mean he has to be – if he removes himself from that position as a pitcher, he doesn't necessarily have to be removed from the lineup.
I like it. I mean, it makes sense. So I'm completely fine with that. It's a good rule. And get rid of the shifts next year. Can't wait, baby. Can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, I
like to not see 7 guys in right field.
Why
don't you just hit the ball the other way? Because it's really hard to hit a 97-mile-an-hour moving two-seamer the other way when it's in on your hands.
I came across, and I don't even know who it was an MLB prospect, somebody who I didn't even know, but the guy is throwing mid-90s gas. And the video is from the catcher's perspective. And I'm looking at it and I'm going, I don't know how anybody makes fucking contact at all.
Yeah.
Like, and that's me coming from someone who played college baseball. I'm looking at that and I'm like, holy shit. Just wild.
Good luck when that's in on your hands trying to hit that opposite way when there's 5 guys in right. You can't do it. You can't do it.
No.
You'll break a bat, and your hands will hurt, and you'll be out. That's what happens when you try that.
Rich, any other baseball stuff before you want to slide over to the NFL?
Fuck it. Let's go.
Here we go. NFL. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Talk about hot stove. The hot stove is burning. It's a 4-alarm fire. You got Rich.
It burned the house down, is what happened. It burned the house down.
It burned the house down. Then there was a tornado and a hurricane all at the same time.
Yeah.
Rich, the following guys have moved teams in the last 16 days. Yannick Ngakoue.
Great teammate. That's why he got traded. He's great. Everybody wants him on their team.
Khalil Mack, Amari Cooper, your boy 11, who's now with the Commanders, Russell Wilson, Devontae Adams, Deshaun Watson, Tyreek Hill. Like,
that Tyreek Hill trade was.
All right, let's unpack that for half a second, because that kind of came to me out of nowhere today.
So does that mean Tua is all of a sudden going to gain an arm and be able to throw the ball downfield? So what's the point? Like the Miami Dolphins are such a I'm going to say a poverty franchise because they do the dumbest shit to try to be relevant. But it's like a giant it's that guy on your block, right, who always has the toys and he's like, "Oh, I just got this and I got this and I got this." And it's just like the next day his power gets turned off. Or he gets all these things and you never see them use them because he can't afford the gas. That's exactly how I feel that the Dolphins are. They're a team that goes, we're going to get Tyreek Hill. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to mortgage a number 1 pick, a 2nd round pick, a 4th round pick, another pick, and another. We're going to give them 5 picks. And we're going to get Tyreek Hill. And here's what we're going to do. Not have any draft picks for the next 2 fucking years. And 2 is the answer. And everybody's like, wait, you're telling me after everything that we just saw with Tua and how terrible he was last year, you're giving him more weapons. Yeah, the feeling when State Farm doesn't protect you from losing you. Yeah, I saw that meme. It's it's not making Tua better. Tua is not going to overnight be like, oh my God, I can get the ball downfield. It's no, Tua is just going to be garbage. The only person this benefits is Mike Gesicki, the guy who plays the underneath routes.
Yeah.
Well, Tyreek Hill is going to be good, but he's not going to be Patrick Mahomes good.
No, you are going to see them create space on offense, right? You've got Jalen Waddle on one side. You're going to have Tyreek Hill on another side. You're going to have Devontae Adams in the middle, or
Parker.
You're going to have weapons, but it's the same reason why I wouldn't have made any of those moves for the Eagles at all.
Yeah, because who's getting them the ball?
Right. It's that video of the kid that goes long and then the pass goes halfway.
Yeah.
And it's nowhere near where you have to be able to get him the ball. It doesn't make any sense, Rich.
No, it's dumb, Don. It's absolutely dumb. It's almost as bad as the Atlanta Falcons trading Matt Ryan for a 3 and taking a $48 million dead cap hit this year. That just has tank written all over it. And then in what mind? Oh, they're going to go and draft the first quarterback off the board. And if I'm that quarterback, I'm pulling an Eli. I'm not going there. So you need to trade me.
Yeah, they picked up Marcus Mariota, which is
who are your offensive weapons besides Kyle Pitts?
Nobody.
Amada Zacchaeus, St. Joe's Hamilton, St. Joe's. Yeah, St. Joe's Prep in the city. I think he played with DeAndre Swift. But he's a Lawnside boy. He's local to me.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah,
I grew up in Lawndale.
No, Lawnside.
Oh,
Lawnside, Don. Local to me, I said. Damn it. Local to me. But, yeah, he's not a number 1. No Calvin Ridley. You have Kyle Pitts. They signed Damian Williams.
Right.
They re-signed offensive line.
They re-signed Cordell Patterson. It's a travesty to me the way that some of these teams are choosing to manage their roster. It's
goofy as shit, Don.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
And they had zero cash because of the money that they just kept pushing off for Matt Ryan. And then they finally got rid of him. They're like, okay, now you're off the hook for him next year. You're not going to win this year. That's fine. But it doesn't even make you competitive.
No.
If you're going to tank, you're doing what the Falcons do. But you're only got a 3 for Matt Ryan.
Yeah, and
because of that fucking stupid contract you gave him. That's just dumb.
Yeah.
Poverty franchises being bad. That's what happens.
On any level, Rich, do you like that move for the Colts at all?
Yeah, I love the fact that the Colts just keep getting veteran after veteran after veteran trying to figure it out.
And what does that say about Wentz? The fact Wentz that they chose an aging Matt Ryan, who's at best a very competent game manager.
Matt Ryan, I'm telling you, Matt Ryan will finish this year as a top 6 quarterback.
Okay.
You know why? Because he has an offensive line. When that dude has time to throw the ball,
Yeah.
he's good. Like, I don't think Matt Ryan's a bad quarterback. I think the Atlanta Falcons are stupid. That's what this comes down to. Because you had all the opportunities to draft an offensive line. Fuck your defense. Who cares at this point? You have to protect Matt Ryan. It's the same thing I said about Seattle last week. Instead of doing what you should have done for Russell Wilson, a.k.a. draft an offensive line, you trade fucking draft picks for a hybrid linebacker safety in Jamal Adams. But you do nothing to protect Russell Wilson. The Atlanta Falcons have done nothing at all to protect him. So he moves to a team with a better run game.
Right.
Their offense, like Atlanta's offensive line here, you can't even see Indianapolis's.
Right.
All the way up the top.
And
you give him Michael Pittman. You give him
Jonathan Taylor, right?
Jonathan Taylor, an old T.Y. Hilton, but he's still serviceable.
Yeah.
They have some young guys. That's not bad. Matt Ryan could be good.
And
I think he's going to finish top 6.
Matt Ryan won't lose you the game.
Exactly. He only lost games last year when he had his team. He kept his team in it when the blocking broke down. Whenever a team blitzed more than fucking 4 guys, somebody was in the backfield, like in his face. And Matt Ryan just got up and he's just like, if one person could block for me, we could probably win this game.
That would be fucking awesome.
This would be great, guys. Hey, offensive lineman, do your job. So I don't understand. And Arthur Smith, like, I thought he was taking this job and he was going to be like a good head coach. But it's like one of those things where I can't blame him because of the talent and the GM of what they're doing. But at the same time, I don't think I'm taking a job, even though I need that job to be a head coach. I don't think I'm taking the Atlanta Falcons job. Like, they had nothing, and they're not good at drafting. Yeah, you hit on Calvin Ridley, but that's pretty much been it. I don't know what the hell you do with that team.
I mean, I don't have a master plan for them. They are.
I'm thinking they suck for at least 3 years because they have no players that they can even trade to get draft picks. They have nobody that anybody wants except Kyle Pitts. And if I'm Kyle Pitts, I would be like, I retire. Yeah, thanks for the guaranteed money. I'm retiring.
Well, listen, Rich. Like we heard the rumors of them being close on the Eagles being close on a deal for Ridley before the whole gambling stuff popped up.
Yeah.
And Rich, before where do you see Baker Mayfield?
Seattle. They can't roll with Drew Lock. Drew Lock is absolutely terrible. Drew Lock is one of the worst quarterbacks. Baker is not a good quarterback. And Seattle doesn't have an offensive line. So it's going to make Baker look even worse than he already was. But where else do you stick in?
Is it out of the realm of possibilities for him to go and hypothetically sit the year? Like go be somebody's backup?
No. Baker's ego? No. What? Baker's ego?
No, listen, if I'm him, I'm saying no. But if I look at the landscape of the NFL, there's not a whole lot of places like that you could make a case. Like hypothetically, Rich, do you make a case for him to go to New Orleans? Is he better?
No, Jameis is not. Right. Jameis is better.
Right. They're kind of in that same age range, or not age range, but talent range.
I could see Matt Rule trying to be the smartest man in the room and trading for Baker, and Baker just not being successful in Carolina. Or I could see Baker. The problem is Baker's contract. I don't know if you can get more than like a 5 for him. So if Houston wanted to take the shot and say, hey, I like Davis Mills, but we're going to trade you a 5 and you're going to come here and be the backup, would you do it? I don't think he will. So there's really no option for him. Like it's either he goes to Seattle for pennies or he goes to Carolina for pennies. Like there's just nowhere else for him in the NFL.
Yeah, those were the two. So Seattle and Carolina were the two places that I thought before Indy made a move for Matt Ryan. I thought Indy might be a spot.
No. They just went through it with Carson Wentz. They're not going through it with Baker Mayfield.
I mean, you're basically moving your garbage for someone else's garbage.
Yeah, at this point, it's just it makes no sense to do that if I was the Colts. They fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't get fooled again. can't get fooled again.
Rich, what about all right? Watson ends up getting moved for an insane amount of money, or not money. He ends up signing for an insane $230 million guaranteed.
Yeah, an extra $100 million in the bidding war that is probably going to go to his civil suits. So they covered that money for his victims, obviously.
There's something that I'm going to touch on in our final thoughts where I'm going to kind of.
It's just the fantasy footballer said it best. It's just disturbing. It's a very disturbing contract. I just don't get it. But hey, he wasn't found criminally. He's got all the talent in the world. Yeah. Good for him. What can I say? I mean, do I think the Browns are going to be great? No. I mean, but he's got Amari Cooper.
The AFC is going to be a bloodbath, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Pittsburgh's not going to be good because they have Mitch Trubisky. Well, that's just fucking
Trich McGiskey.
Yeah, Trich McGiskey here. I don't really understand. I don't know, man. I just don't know. Yeah. I think the Bengals got better because now they have an offensive line, which they had last year.
And they just made a move for Lyle Collins, right? They bring him in.
But
I like that. I don't hate it. Anything they had was going to be better than what they had last year.
Oh, their offensive line is going to be fantastic. Not fantastic. It'll be better.
They signed somebody from the Bucks off the Bucks offensive line.
Yeah, he was like Pro Football's like 65th ranked guard. So apparently he wasn't even really that good. But it's Brady. Brady makes everybody look better because he gets the ball out so quick.
True.
So it's kind of like one of those things like it really doesn't move the needle if you look like statistically wise. But yeah, I mean, I think the Bengals caught lightning in a bottle last year, and I don't think they're going to be able to repeat that success. It's just one of those things, man. It's like the Eagles 2017. You catch that lightning in the bottle, the right things happen at the right time, and you move on. But you see what happens when you don't have invest in an offensive line, and I think it comes down to it was a year too late. It was a year too late.
If you can't keep him upright, then that's
a
whole different conversation. Rich, the last two guys we're going to talk about, Allen Robinson ends up moving to the Rams, and Devontae Adams gets moved to the Raiders.
Okay, for Allen Robinson. Doesn't move the needle.
Rich get richer.
I don't think Allen Robinson's that good anymore. Maybe it was just quarterback play. Maybe it was just him last year. I would prefer Robert Woods. I don't understand why they got rid of Robert Woods, and it was only for a sixth. If I was the Eagles, I would have made that call because I love Bobby Woods. I think he's a hell of a commodity. He's 30. Who cares? Coming off that ACL. I think there was a stat was like at least one like starting wide receiver in the league came off an ACL torn ACL. So I mean everybody's having it. It's pretty non-invasive to therapy. People are getting back to it, and the science behind it's getting stronger. I would have taken the shot. I don't like Allen Robinson for the Rams. I don't know. Matthew Stafford is a proven good quarterback. I don't think he's great. I think he's good. Does it help the Rams? Kind of. But it's still going to be Cooper Kupp. They still want OBJ back. I would rather they're not going to be their old selves, but they can still be productive with Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp just dominating touches. And Devontae Adams, I hope Derek Carr can get you the ball, bud. That's pretty much it. Most dominant wide receiver in the game. I just hope his quarterback can hit him in stride.
Him and Darren Waller, right? They're both going to create space for each other.
Hunter
Renfrow, right?
They should be fine.
And you got Jacobs in the backfield. It's just going to between the teams in the West in that AFC West. Guy with the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Chargers, the Raiders, that's
he's going up against some good corners. He's going to see J.C. Jackson twice a year now. Like, it's going to be tough for him. Like, it's
Yeah.
not going to be an easy road for Devontae Adams, but he wants to play with Derek Carr, and I don't think Devontae Adams is not like a wide receiver 1 this year. I think he's still going to be productive and produce. Like I said, it all just falls on Carr. Like, you gave Carr the weapons. Can he do it? Can he do it? This is his year to be like, I can step up. Even if they don't make the playoffs, but they play hard and they go over 500, then I call that a win for Derek Carr, because I don't think they're going to beat the Chiefs. I don't think that they are going to beat LA. And Denver's going to be tough. Like you said, it's going to be a bloodbath. Teams are going to lose in that division, but I think 2 of them are, maybe even 3 of them are going to be wild card teams. Like, that'd be crazy. You get those extra wild card spots, and I could see 3 teams from the AFC West making it.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be tough.
Yeah, you could make a case, barring injury, right, that 3 out of 4 of those teams are going to be not just, playoff teams, but like viable playoff teams that can make a run for a Super Bowl.
And the Eagles signed Zach Pascal, which moves the needle none.
I was just gonna say them put Rich. A lot of the moves that they're making are giving me feels of like this year is like a pass. Like the move that they release Fletcher Cox and then bring him back to save cap money, the talk that they're going to move draft capital from this year to next year or future years. It just seems like they're trying to not kick the can down the road, but like that this year is like a kind of figure it out year.
Yeah.
And then really try to put together a more complete roster in 23.
Agreed. I think that's probably going to be the thing. I just like the fact that you have a possession wide receiver now in Zach Pascal. He'll be the Jason Avant type guy. So on third downs, look for him. But I still think if Slim Reaper got the targets, he would be a stud. But that all falls on Jalen Hurts. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Do you think that they make a move in the draft for? I hate that I'm even going to utter the words, but do they make a move for a wide receiver? You think?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Like
maybe with one of those back-to-back picks, but I'd still go defense. I still think you need another edge rusher. I still think you need a linebacker. I still think you need a safety. So I think I would go defense first and then try to hit a wide receiver in the second round.
I agree.
Let's be real. First-round wide receivers really don't produce for their first team. It's a stat, and it's known in the NFL. So,
agreed.
Let's see what happens.
Sounds good. Let's recap the Sixers here, Rich.
Ooh.
What are your thoughts? Because since the last time we talked, right? They had the win at Cleveland.
Yes.
They come home. They win on Friday night against Dallas.
Yep.
And then, they
put the all second team lineup out against the Heat and win.
I don't understand when you play Harden and Embiid Friday, Sunday, and then sit Monday. Like, if it were me, I would have played them Friday.
Sat them Sunday,
and then have them play Monday. But listen,
they got a win, and it was convincing. Like the all bench team,
the bench mafia.
The bench mafia was phenomenal. Tyrese Maxey was dominant, and that block was ridiculous.
I mean, that to me tells me everything I need to know about the type of player that he is. Right? We're seeing that when he has the ball in hand, he can be a ball dominant, drive the ball, create space guy. I do like the fact that you were able to get to see some of those other guys get minutes. You're because Rich, there's going to be a playoff game where you're going to need somebody off the bench to score 20. Right? You're going to need, Shake Milton. You're going to need Cork.
No, you don't need Shake Milton. Don, I don't need Shake. I need Furkan to get me 13. I need Danny Green to get me 7. And I need anybody but fucking Shake Milton to do something. No, this was the game where
like,
this was called the no pressure game.
right.
Doc told them, "Hey, you guys can go out there and play basketball." I gave James and Joel the night off. Go out there and play hard. And what do? No expectations to win. They win.
Right.
Yang starts hitting shots. Furkan hits shots. Shake hits shots. Why? Because there was no pressure with Joe and James on the court.
Right.
They need this mentality and this attitude when those two are on the court at the same time with them.
Right.
I agree. You want to take a shot? Take the fucking shot. Have confidence. This is the thing that I don't like about certain players is your confidence level when no one expects you to win is through the roof. But with your confidence level to play hard and to play the game right when your stars are in, you can't do that. You fumble the bag, is what the kids say. You fumbled the bag.
Gotcha.
You need to learn how to play with that confidence. That's what made you into an NBA player. If you can't do that consistently night in, night out, and I'm not saying I need Furkan to come off and be the sixth man of the year and drop 20, or Shake to drop 20, or Niang to drop 20, just to fill your role, to make wide open shots, to play hard, to not turn the ball over. That's not hard to ask.
No.
But for some reason, they forget to do that when James and Joe are there because I believe they feel, well, these guys are the superstars. Let's just try to force them the ball. If it's not there, take what the defense gives you. How many times do we say that to kids? How many times do we say that to kids?
Yeah.
If it's not there, you take what the defense gives you. If they give you the wide open shot, make them play defense on you. Hit three in their face. Okay, now they have to respect you. Now Joe's open. Right. Now James can run the pick and roll. Like, come on, man. Like, it pisses me. Like, I was so happy they won that game with no one, but it pissed me off because I'm like, why can't these fucking guys do this consistently when Joe and James
when you just need them to come off.
Just do something. Give me something.
Yeah, and Rich, I think the more alarming thing for me in that game, too many curveballs, Rich.
I know.
You got pitcher's elbow.
I got to stop. Damn it.
I think, Rich, the most alarming thing to me out of that Miami game is the fact that on a night where you took your two biggest stars off the court, you left Tobias Harris on there, and he became invisible. Like, I think he ended the game with like 14 points.
Yeah, it wasn't much.
Where no one else, like the fact that Shake Milton had more points and Furkan had more points, and Furkan had more points, like be better, Toby.
Tobias is a piece that needs to be moved on from along with Doc Rivers in the offseason. Give me a better coach. Give me somebody else for Tobias. And I don't even care if it's a bench guy. I don't care if it's two solid bench guys.
Okay.
Give me that. Give me guys who can come off and give me 18 to 20 minutes off the bench and be productive.
Okay.
But Tobias has shown me nothing since James came. He hasn't shown me anything in 2 years. So I'm over the mediocrity and how great of a person he is.
Gotcha.
Because I want a killer. I don't want a guy who disappears. We just had that. And I'm
so, Rich, you want a killer. In the offseason, the Wizards call you and they offer you Bradley Beal, but they want Maxey and Toby.
No, I'm not doing that.
What do you think gets it done for them? Like,
I would do Toby. I would do Thibault. I would do 3 1s, and that would be my offer. Sacrifice Thibault, but I'm keeping Maxey.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably going to get equivalent defense from Beal.
Yeah,
maybe slightly below what Thibault is giving you right now.
But he'll give you the scoring of them two combined, plus 10.
Yeah,
and that's what you need. But the whole problem with the Sixers is their bench. Like, you need a better bench. Our bench is just getting outperformed by.
Do you think that they swung and missed? I think that they were expecting something else in the buyout market that never actually facilitated.
I do think that's what happened. I think it dried up so quick that they were like, fuck. and this guy didn't become available. This guy didn't become available. So they're like, yeah, we fucked
the DeAndre Jordan experiment is.
Yeah, he's terrible. He is what he is. He is what he is. He's been terrible for 4 years now.
Yeah. And then Rich, they're on the West Coast, right? So they're going to start at 10 tonight. They're going to play the Lakers, and then on Friday play the Clippers, and then Sunday in Phoenix.
Win, loss.
Agreed. I think you're going to see the Lakers team is severely depleted. They're not really playing for anything. When Dwight Howard is the starting center, and I don't even remember who the backup is at this point.
Nope.
Yeah, I think they win both games in LA on Wednesday and Friday, and I think they probably take an L on Sunday. Now, the next game that I think that they probably try to get some rest is at the end of March. They play Detroit. They're playing at Detroit.
Yeah.
So that could be a game where you might be able to sit both of them again.
They might actually call us. See if we can go play. I'll play against Detroit. You don't even have to pay me. Just give me like 8 minutes.
with the blue coats.
Yeah, just give me a free throw opportunity. I'll drive the lane, get crushed, and knock down my 2 free throws, and that's it.
I love it. Oh,
retire mid-game.
Oh, Rich, did you have a where did they go?
No, Don. You know what happened to me.
Yeah.
I know, Don.
Where did they go?
I'll tell you where my car almost went.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
All right, Rich. Well, with that, let's go. Let's just go final thoughts.
My final thoughts are: please take your keys out of your car when you go into the store. I almost had my car stolen tonight, and 2 hours before the podcast. So that was fun. Yep, I went in the store, get some lottery tickets, left the car running, thinking nothing of it because I'm only in there for 2 minutes, and it's literally 2 minutes around the corner from my house. I see a young gentleman decide he was going to enter my car after staking it out, and I ran out. He ran out, hopped in the car. Cops came. Detectives came, fingerprinted my car. It was a stolen license plate. Yeah, it was a fun night. So my final thoughts are take your keys out of your car and lock your doors.
To quote the famous Biggie Smalls, lock your windows, close your doors.
Lock your windows, close your doors.
Oh, God.
No truer words have been spoken.
Oh, man. Listen, Rich, for my final thoughts, I'm going to go back to something that we had kind of touched on briefly with the Browns and Deshaun Watson. I'm going to call a big fuck you to the Browns because the way that they kind of hid the undercover part of that $230 million guaranteed contract. What people don't know is if you go in and read the details of the contract, fully knowing that on some level the NFL is probably going to levy some discipline this year, and those game checks are based on that annual salary for year by year.
Okay.
What did the Browns do in year one of that contract where they know that they
guaranteed him $1 million in year one?
His salary for this year is $1 million.
They knowing he's going to be suspended.
That game check that's going to get taken
$90,000.
Yeah, which means that in year two, when that annual salary balloons to, I want to say it's almost, I think it's north of $30 million. Don't quote me on that, but they hid that. And that's the Browns being the Browns.
Yep.
Right. So I wish nothing but shitty karma on the Browns.
Agreed.
Because that to me spits in the face of anything. Because what you're saying to anybody who is any kind of adversely affected by any kind of domestic relations, domestic abuse, verbal abuse, physical, mental, emotional, whatever it is.
Assault, rape, all those.
You're basically saying, listen, we'll kind of back channel a way to figure it out so that it doesn't really affect you.
Yeah.
So my final thoughts, fuck you, Cleveland. You suck.
And as we say on this show now, fuck you, Cleveland. You suck. We are Drunk on Broad. I'm Rich. That's Don. Vote for us again on Wildfire Podcast Twitter page.
While you're there on the Wildfire Twitter page, go check out a vote. Go punch in a vote for Big T Will in the full court.
Yeah, buddy. Philly Full Court Press. Vote for him. Get us both into the Final Four.
And Rich, listen, if we both make it into the Final Four next week, we got to have Big T Will on.
Yep.
Because we're going to be facing Big T Will in the Philly Full Court.
Oh, that's going to be cool.
That's going to be that would be the matchup. If we both advance, listen, appreciate everything that they're doing at the Wildfire Podcast, that group to kind of generate some interest in some local Philly sports podcasts. So shout out to them. And
a lot of big names got knocked out for some for your boys and I mean T Will, they went up against Jason Martinez and Harry Mays.
Yep.
They had the Liberty Ballers. They were a number 1 seed. They got, knocked out by a different podcast. Like it's good to see some of these younger, or not younger, but I'll say younger podcasts, meaning not as big, being able to get the recognition and getting people to vote for them, even if it's only 100 votes. It matters to us because it gets us out there and it gets our name out there. So we do appreciate you. Everybody at Belly Up Sports, our sponsors, Lots of Rain, Team Clicks, it's all good things. And thank you for helping us out. Thank you for supporting the podcast. We appreciate you. Vote for Philly Full Court Press. Vote for Drunk on Broad. And enjoy your week, Philly.
Fuck you, Cleveland.
Fuck you, Cleveland.
Eagles are Super Bowl champions.